Do you have big plans to get rich? Answers are coming up in this episode of the Competence series. Owning a business or earning money from a job are both avenues to help you achieve wealth. There is a basic fundamental required in business for both employee and employer. Earl Nightingale once said, "All the money you will ever make in the future is at this moment in the hands of someone else." All the money you will ever make is at this moment in the hands of someone else. The challenge is to find a way to separate them from their money. Well, sure, you could steal it, cheat them out of it, or maybe even inherit your fortune. However, there's only one way for the real winners in life to earn what you want as a competent and qualified professional. That is, to serve the customer. Give extreme service, and all the money you'll ever want to earn will come your way. How much? Earl Nightingale asks,
how would you like to earn $1 million a year? Well, I can tell you how to do it, so get out your paper and pencil. All you have to do is figure out a way to earn $2,739.75 a day, 365 days a year. That's $2,739.75 a day, 365 days a year. Or if you don't like the idea of working on weekends, figure out a way to earn $19,230.76 a week. Now, there's no allowance made there for vacations or holidays, but maybe earning more than $19,000 a week would make you forget about vacations and holidays. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure that's a problem that bothers a lot of people. How to earn $1 million a year, and so there's your answer. Make $20,000 a week, and you can have a 2-week vacation. Think of that. Now, how do you go about earning $20,000 a week? Well, there are many ways. But since $1 million a year would make you rich, you should remember that there are really only 4 main ways of getting rich. To do it, you must have people working for you, or money working for you, or ideas working for you, or work for yourself. Now, I'll run through that quickly again in case you missed it. There are 4 ways to get rich. 1, have money working for you. 2, have people working for you. 3, have ideas working for you. 4, work for yourself. Any one of these basic 4 reasons will work, or any combination. Now let's get back to the $20,000 a week. If you produced a product on which you could earn a $10 profit, and if you had dealers for this product in 200 cities, and if each dealer could sell 2 of these products a day, you'd come up with $1 million of profit. You see how it works? Or if you produced a product on which you could earn $1 of profit, you'd have to sell 20,000 of them a week. Now, right offhand, that might sound unreasonable, but it really isn't. It isn't easy, but it isn't impossible either. All you need is 20,000 regular customers subscribing to a good product or service for which you could earn $1 per week profit per customer. Of course, if you're not greedy and would be content to earn $500,000 a year, you can cut those figures in half. So don't ever say you don't know how to make $1 million a year, because I went to quite a bit of trouble to figure the whole thing out and pass it along to you. $20,000 a week, while certainly not all the money in the world, is a tidy income, and with a little care and good judgment could easily take care of most ordinary expenses. As an exercise in creative thinking, why not spend some time thinking of ways in which you could honestly earn $1 million a year? If you only earned half that, it would be worthwhile.
Most people think the only way to become a multimillionaire is to own the business. Ownership does not guarantee success. There are many ways to become rich without owning a business. The truth is, we are all in business for ourselves. If we work for a company, the products or services we are trusted to create are our products. The management, accountants, lawyers, co-workers, and most important, the customers, are all tools of our trade, our business. They must be maintained and taken care of with competency. All jobs are important. In the best-selling program, The Essence of Success, Earl Nightingale explained why there's no such thing as an unimportant job.
There isn't a job in the world that's not important. If you think it's important and treat it as though it were important, there must be more than 10,000 different jobs, maybe a lot more. But every single one of them can be a very important job if the person doing it treats it the right way. Now, we all know people who treat their work in an unimportant manner, who do just enough to sneak by without too much discredit. Their jobs really are unimportant. But we know people doing the same kind of work who have achieved greatness. This applies as much to the housewife as it does to the senator, to the mail carrier as it does to the chairman of the board in the paneled office. I believe more people should remember what Charles Dickens once wrote. It is well for a man to respect his own vocation, whatever it is, and to think himself bound to uphold it, and to claim for it the respect it deserves. No, there are no unimportant jobs. There are only people who treat their work in an unimportant fashion, and who must then become unimportant people. As they say in show business, there are no small parts, only small actors. There's no such thing as a job that does not contain somewhere within it the key to greatness, the road to great achievement. But we've come to think that some jobs or professions are greater than others. That's not true. The person who delivers your cleaning, who does his job in an outstanding fashion, who thinks about his work, is a better person and a better professional than the physician who does not approach medicine in the same way. Someone once defined luck as being something that happens when preparedness meets opportunity. The man or woman who does his or her job in an outstanding way suddenly finds that luck seems to hang around most of the time. These are the people who develop the real kind of security that no one can take away from them, the inner security that can come only from doing whatever it is given you to do in an outstanding manner. These are the people who are seldom hurt or even bothered by recessions and depressions. When times are bad, we can do without people who have made themselves unimportant. But we need the outstanding ones. We depend on them. And we know they can be given a job and left alone. We know they'll do it well, and that they'll do more than they have to, more than they're paid to do. In this way, industry makes a profit on their services, and they will always profit from their industry.
Being your best in your job is an act of will. Actions completed every day over a period of time create competence that will take you to the top. Daily actions are like habits. All habits aren't bad. However, breaking a bad habit and replacing it with productive good habits is a requirement if you want to earn what you're worth. Earl spoke of this.
One of the most interesting things about people is that they can and do change for the better. A person who was once a criminal becomes a model citizen. Another person kicks a drug habit and begins living a life of responsibility and contribution. And for every one of those, there are millions who, over a span of years, have become substantially better as persons, who are kinder, more honest, more conscientious about their responsibilities, and so on. But just how does a person improve, and why? In his column, Strictly Personal, Sidney J. Harris once wrote, "It is not an act of intellect that makes people change themselves for the better, not a matter of insight, but an act of the will. For intelligence without courage is as static as courage without intelligence is rash. It is not an act of intellect that makes people change themselves for the better, but an act of the will. For intelligence without courage is as static as courage without intelligence is rash. It is intelligence with courage that results in the necessary act of the will we need in order to bring about constructive change in ourselves. The person who breaks a bad and destructive habit does so by an act of the will. His intelligence tells him that he has a bad habit. It may be a work habit, it may be a study habit or non-study habit, it might be a drug habit. It can be any sort of non-productive or destructive habit. Any person with a bad habit knows about it. His intelligence informs him. But changing a bad habit into a good one, or at least getting rid of the bad one, takes an act of the will over a sufficiently long period of time to render it impotent. After a period of time, a surprisingly short time for most habits, it no longer clamors for attention. It fades away and finally disappears. Now the will can be turned off. The habit is gone. But it's turning on the will to undertake such a task that takes courage. Pericles said, "The secret of happiness is freedom, and the secret of freedom courage." When we rid ourselves of unproductive and debilitating habits, we literally free ourselves to that degree. The more bad habits we can get rid of, the freer we become, the happier we become, the better our self-image becomes. The secret of happiness is freedom, but the secret of freedom, courage. For intelligence without courage, as Sid Harris wrote, is as static as courage without intelligence is rash. Habits that make us happy we should keep. Habits that lead to unhappiness and illness we should try to muster the courage to end. It's surprising how easily a bad habit is routed once it's faced with courage. As Emerson said, "What a new face courage puts on everything."
True competency is built on habitual courage. It takes courage to make big plans. In one of the radio programs, Our Changing World, Earl talked about making big plans.
Make no little plans. There's nothing in little plans to stir men's blood. Make big plans. Once a big idea is recorded, it can never die. How big are your plans? If you've begun to find your daily life something of a bore, rather humdrum or uninteresting, it could be because your plans are too small. You know, more people would make bigger plans if they knew they could be accomplished. The men who have stood out in history have been those with big plans that caught the fancy and imagination of others. A family with a big plan toward which they're working is a happy, busy, and interesting family. They suffer much less boredom and have no time for bickering or looking for convenient means of escape. You might, just for fun, stop a minute and re-evaluate your plans. What are they? What is it that you're working toward? Is it big enough for you? Does it fill you with excitement when you think about it? And does it fill your days with energy and accomplishment? Maybe your plans are too small. Maybe you're trying to play it safe with your one chance at life here on Earth. All too often there's a wide gap between what a person started out to accomplish and what he's actually accomplished. Usually there are very good reasons for your wanting to accomplish a particular thing. It's usually your particular talents and abilities trying to get you on the course that's right for you. Now, you're unlike any person who ever appeared on Earth, but are you acting like other people? There's no good reason for it. What is it that you want to do or have more than anything else? If you can answer that question, you can discover the direction you should very probably take. People accomplish what they set out to accomplish, but they often don't realize the extent of their own greatness and make their plans accordingly. They take their cue from those around them, assuming that what others do is right for them also. Maybe it is, but maybe it isn't. Of one thing you can be sure, if the plan toward which you're working does not keep you interested and fill you with excitement at the prospect of its accomplishment, your plan is probably too small. What is it that you really want to do? Why don't you do it? If it's good and hurts no one, go after it. You might be amazed at what you can do. People usually are when they discover that the goals that come naturally to them do so for very good reasons. No one will really desire with all his heart something that is beyond his accomplishment.
The next episode of the Competence series in the core program, The Secret Advantage, we take a look at the future and the role that we play in it by becoming more competent.
This is Earl Nightingale. Thank you.